Hello, hello. Oh, this one doesn't work. You getting me? One, two, one, two. But is it cutting? Hallelujah. I know. All right. Yeah, let's rely on that one.
Sausage. Kaya ke so ebile ga o tlalo mo founela le di phone.
Ja, een nice opzetstekker vandaag.
Kom eens zo, George.
will now have an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Please be seated. Thank you very much, honorable members. I think it will only be proper that we make the announcement of apologizing for the slight delay that was caused by the homage paid by the NCOP to the late former chief whip of the NCOP. So for that we do apologize. We will then proceed with the business of the day. Does any member wish to give a notice of a motion? Honorable Chaklason.
Michalakis, Honourable Deputy Chairperson.
We'll get used to that. Okay.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Chairperson. Honourable Deputy Chairperson, on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I hereby wish to give notice that at the next sitting of Council, it notes that the Deputy Chief Whip of the Free State Legislature, Ms. Dora Kutsia, during last week's budget debates in that House, gave a graphic description of a misformed child and then tried to use the description as an insult to belittle the opposition. Further notes that when asked to withdraw her ghastly, insensitive statement, she tried to correct herself by stating that she meant a misformed dog, not a child, as if a disabled child can be easily interchanged with a dog. Thirdly, that Council recognizes that people with disabilities should never be used as an object to insult or belittle, and should at all times be treated with dignity and respect. And fourthly, calls upon the ANC to ensure that their members are sensitive to issues relating to disabilities. I so move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. You may proceed, Honourable.
Honourable Chair, I hereby give notice that in the next sitting of Council, I shall move that the Council notes that the cat is proverbial amongst the pigeons again in the Democratic Alliance, with the speculations and accusations going on in the DA about the origin of the allegations that the DA Member of Parliament, Honourable Phumzile van Damme, had fraudulently obtained South African citizenship. That Council notes that this resulted into the unfair, intrusive and cruel public scrutiny of Honourable van Damme's personal life, which could have been avoided had the DA conducted basic checks and made corrections where necessary, instead of pursuing its bid to use talented young blacks as window dressers in its ranks. Further notes that instead of the DA taking responsibility for putting Honourable van Damme in this situation, it is playing the blame game again, and among others, even attempts to implicate the ANC by its speculations that Honourable van Damme's mother was involved in the ANC. Condemns these practices of the DA and its failure to make responsibility.
Honourable Deputy Chair, this matter was referred to the Press Ombudsman because the DA believes that there was false reporting on this matter. So to move a motion on this will not be fair until the Ombudsman has made the ruling.
Or it's an ombudsman, it's not a court of law. Now then, if it is an ombudsman, he is entitled to make the motion. Unlike if, for instance, a matter was before a court of law. Yes, your objection would have been sustained.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
I further move in conclusion, Chair, that Council condemns these practices of the DA and its failure to take responsibility, and calls on the DA and its leaders to stop exploiting, humiliating and discarding talented black people. I so move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Isaac.
Honourable Deputy Chair, I thank you for the opportunity. Honourable Deputy Chair, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, and I hereby wish to move a notice of a motion that at the next sitting, the Council takes note of the fact that the Thabachewe municipality in Mpumalanga has for the last 2 years now reneged in its commitments to pay Eskom its monthly accounts. 2, Eskom has continuously engaged the Thabachewe municipality and the Mpumalanga Provincial Department of Kochta. 3, Eskom has now given notice informing this municipality of the imminent disconnection to the bulk electricity supply of the entire municipality. Number 4, this looming crisis, Honourable Deputy Chair, is untenable and is indicative of Thabachewe municipality's inability to manage its own finances and provide basic service delivery to the citizens of this municipality. And finally, Honourable Deputy Chair, the DA now calls for the NCOP Select Committee for Kochta to visit this municipality to investigate the real financial challenges in this municipality as soon as possible. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other motion? Okay, we shall then proceed. Does any member wish to give a note to move a motion without notice? Okay, let me start here. You may proceed, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Honourable Chairperson, on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I'd like to move without notice that the Council notes with profound sadness... Can
you just speak to the mic, please?
Honourable Chair, on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I would like to move without notice that the Council notes with profound sadness the passing of South Africa's literary giant and the first South African to receive a Nobel Prize for Literature, Nadine Gordimer. To further note that Gordimer will be fondly remembered for unwavering courage in chronicling South Africa's racial apartheid through her impeccable writings. And to also note that she dedicated her whole life from the age of 9 years to writing, with 15 novels as well as several volumes of short stories, non-fiction, and other works. Also notes that Gordimer was published in 40 languages around the world. Also notes that we join her family, the country, and the world in mourning the passing of South Africa's Nobel laureate, activist, and a great South African, and believe that her legacy will live on through her work and the impact it has had and continues to have in the literary world. Takes this opportunity to extend its deepest condolences to the Gordimer family and assure them of our thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Her amazing courage was evident as she remained politically and intellectually active until the very end. May her wonderful soul rest in perfect peace. I so move.
Thank you very much. Is there any objection to the motion? In the absence of any objection, then the motion shall be agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Is there any other motion? Honourable Mtu?
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. On behalf of the IFP, I move without notice that Council notes the relaunch and reopening of the land claims in the country by the Department of Land Affairs, that this relaunch has aroused a widespread enthusiasm and interest around the country. It is reported that the East Griqua, a Khoisan community based in Kokstad area, and the Ntlangwini clan in KZN are set to lodge their claims. It is reported that the Zulu King is about to launch South Africa's biggest ever claim. It is reported that the Hlubi clan also plan a huge claim in KwaZulu-Natal. Some of these potential claims are by claimants that had previously applied to the Nhlapo Commission for their Amakhosi to be recognized as kings and were turned down. Council urges Land Affairs to speed up the process of workshops and educating communities about land claims so that these do not get confused for the claims of kingship recognition. I so move.
Thank you very much, honourable members. Is there any objection to the motion? In the absence of any objection, then the motion shall be agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Mampuru.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairperson, for the opportunity given to me. I hereby move without notice that the Council 1 notes and welcomes the recent announcement by Premier Mahuma Pilo of Northwest that a forensic and fraud investigation unit is being established in the province. 2, also notes and welcomes the call by the Premier on all members of his Executive Council to lead by example by demonstrating positive ethical conduct and rejecting corruption. 3, further notes the decision that all forensic investigation reports that are to be commissioned by the provincial government be made available to the Office of the Premier to ensure that it is properly processed and disclosed through the legislature. 4, commends the Premier and his government on his development and calls on the public to heed the call of the Premier to join hands with the government in its fight against fraud and corruption. I so move.
Thank you very much. Is there any objection to the motion? In the absence of any, then the motion shall be agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Shaldibia.
Honorable Chairperson, I hereby move without notice that the Council notes that SALGA had, in line with its mandate to build capacity in municipalities, developed a senior management induction program that was launched recently and is aimed at training and building the capacity of senior managers in municipalities and to assimilate them into their roles as heads of municipal administrations and accounting offices, and to establish a culture of ethos of professionalism. Secondly, notes that this program was developed and implemented after SALGA had identified the challenges confronting leaders in the local government sector, and in particular that leadership and management are critical areas that require intervention to ensure that the municipal human capital development goals are achieved and that the local government sector is professionalized to enable it to meet its constitutional obligations. Commend SALGA on this initiative and its commitment to capacitate and professionalize municipalities, and calls on all provincial governments to support SALGA in its endeavors to ensure that this program yields the desired outcomes. I so move, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Is there any objection to the motion? Therefore, the motion shall be agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Groenewald.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairperson. On behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I hereby wish to move a motion without notice that Council wishes to congratulate the Protea cricket team who won the 3-match one-day test series by 2-1 against Sri Lanka. The Proteas also made history by winning the series in Hambantota in Sri Lanka for the first time ever. This House also wishes Hasim Amla and his Protea team the very best for 2 5-day tests, and may they also win this series for the first time in Sri Lanka. Come on, boys, make South Africa proud. I so move.
Thank you very much. Is there any objection to the motion? Therefore, the motion shall be agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Ntebe.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I hereby move without notice, Honorable Chair, that the Council notes with concern the new challenges that are facing the platinum mining companies after the recent 5-month strike, in that many mine workers are now unfit to resume duty as they have taken ill, and adding to the high number of their colleagues who have already defaulted on their chronic medical medication during the strike. Further notes that some of the mine workers who were fit for work before the strike did not pass their medical test, Chair. And when they went through the medical screening process, as many had failed to take their chronic medication for diabetes, hypertension, and other conditions, as well as the ARVs drugs. Further commends the mining companies on their effort to assist these workers by taking the required treatment to them, and to alert and encourage the workers to come and get the necessary treatment. Call on all mine workers to cooperate in this regard. Also call on the relevant provincial health department and other health authorities to render appropriate support and assistance in this regard. I so move, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any objection to the motion? In the absence of any objection, then the motion shall be agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Isaac.
Honorable Deputy Chair, again I thank you for the opportunity. On behalf of the Democratic Alliance, Honorable Deputy Chair, I hereby wish to move a motion that Council takes note of Premier David Mabuza's comments and dissatisfaction with the local healthcare system in Mpumalanga. During his State of the Province address, Premier Mabuza promised to provide an effective healthcare system. Already more than 2 billion rand has been spent on this now defunct healthcare system in Mpumalanga. In December last year, the South African Human Rights Commission gave the Health Department of Mpumalanga until the 31st of March 2014 to formulate and submit a program to address the skills, infrastructure, and administrative problems in this province's healthcare centers. Honorable Chairperson, this mismanagement in Mpumalanga and in its Department of Health can no longer be tolerated. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any objection to the motion? Yes. In the light of the objection, therefore, the motion without notice will now become a notice of a motion. Honorable Van Lingen, I have you on my list here. Did you have your hand up? No, if you didn't, it's fine. Did you have your hand up for? All right. No, it clearly shows that you didn't have a motion. All right, honourable members. Then that brings us to the end of the motions, and I take it that there are no further motions. I therefore call on the Secretary to read the first order of the day.
Policy debate on budget vote number 12, Public Service and Administration, Appropriation Bill B4 of 2014.
Thank you very much. May I, as yesterday, call on our brand new minister to then introduce the debate. That's the reason why I said our brand new minister, because the institution has been restructured, Minister. We do have a podium now, the side. Oh, no, there's no speaker now.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairperson, and my apologies not having known that there's a podium now. I hope I'm not the only one who's going to. You don't tell the rest until they've made until they've made a mistake like I did. I won't advise them. Honorable Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Chairperson of the Select Committee, honorable members and delegates, directors general and heads of our institutions, distinguished guests and friends, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to present the Public Service and Administration Policy input to this noble House of Parliament today. I sincerely thank the people of South Africa for having given the African National Congress a further mandate to lead South Africa's 5th democratic administration. With this mandate, we will ensure that we continue to accelerate and improve the standard and the quality of our life, of our people's lives throughout our beautiful country. The National Development Plan has been bold in its assertion that the public service is key if we are to deliver on our developmental objectives. To this end, the public service, therefore, has to reposition itself to assume this momentous responsibility. to address the twin challenges of poverty and inequality as identified by the National Development Plan, the state needs to play a transformative and developmental role. This role requires well-run, effectively coordinated state institutions with skilled public servants who are committed to service our people and who are capable of delivering consistently high-quality services. Together with relevant stakeholders, the Department of Public Service and Administration will, during this financial year, focus on programs that will ensure that our public servants are capacitated to deliver on the objectives of the National Development Plan. Honorable members, this debate today provides us with an opportunity to reflect on our constitutional mandate to provide public services that are governed by democratic values and principles. These include, amongst others, high standard of professional ethics, effective use of resources, public administration that is development-oriented, that provides services which are impartial, fair, and equitable, and without bias. We are therefore proud to indicate that as we celebrate 20 years of democracy, our government has been able to, amongst others, reform legislation and policies and restructure state institutions, decentralize public administration, and strengthen intergovernmental relations. We have established a single government system which consolidated the fragmented apartheid governance structures into a system that places our people first. We are proud to say that our democratic administration system will serve to deliver all the developmental objectives as outlined in the National Development Plan. These efforts keep us on the trajectory to realize our national strategic objectives of building a united, democratic, non-sexist, non-racial, just and prosperous South Africa. This, honorable members, is indeed a good story to tell. As the Department of Public Service and Administration, we are proud to be part of this good story. Honorable members, the diagnostic report of the National Development Plan, the diagnostic report of the National Planning Commission confirmed that in some instances, government is unable to deliver services effectively and efficiently, partly because some of the current service delivery programs are disjointed and do not always reach the poorest people who live in rural, peri-urban, informal settlement, and under-serviced urban areas. This is exacerbated by departments that tend to plan their service access improvement initiatives in silos. The above problem exists despite the fact that there are initiatives such as the Tusong Service Centers and the Community Development Workers Programs, which were introduced some years ago. The Tusong Centers co-locate key service delivery departments at national, provincial, and local government level to provide services seamlessly in locations that are closer to where the people reside. Community development workers, on the other hand, disseminate information of government services and also serve as link between the communities, Tusong centers, and government. In view of this, the Outcome 12 Delivery Agreement states that Tusong Center model will have to be rethought to ensure that these centers function better and that the model contributes towards improving access to services. The Department of Public Service and Administration has developed a pilot Tusong Service Center at Maponya Mall in Soweto and is using the lessons from the establishment process to formulate a management framework that could be used to refine the existing Tusong centers and guide the development of new ones. The framework will define the suitable internal operational requirements, organizational structure, and the funding model. The framework will also include a protocol that could be used to bind government departments and other institutions that participate in the establishment of the particular center. In addition, we'll focus on modernizing the public service through a generally applicable framework of norms and standards. Our only objective to improve service delivery in order to create a better life for all our people. Our national schools of governance will strive towards improving performance and service delivery in the public sector through the provision and coordination of training and management development programs. In addition, the Center for Public Service Innovation will unlock innovation in the public sector and create an enabling environment for improved and innovative service delivery. The Public Service Commission, established in terms of Chapter 10 of the Constitution, will continue to promote the constitutional values and principles of public administration. Honorable members, to protect our hard-earned democracy, we remain determined to root out corrupt practices within the public service. We encourage public servants to prioritize serving the public who have entrusted them with the responsibility and honor to serve them in. In this regard, we will intensify our effort to place people first at all times as outlined in the Batupile principle. As a department that is strategically located to not only create an enabling policy environment for the rest of the public service, but to also support the effective implementation of such policies, the Department of Public Service and Administration will play a more proactive role in supporting departments to build their own capacity, fulfill regulatory requirements, and improve service delivery. The implementation of the Batupile policy will be enhanced to ensure that the efforts of improving service delivery bear fruits. To this end, the Department of Public Service and Administration will be strengthening the institutionalization and mainstreaming of Batupile principal programs, with a focus in the next 2 years on capacitating frontline officials. This will be done through the ensuring that government departments embed their Batupile programs within their strategic and operational plans, as well as accommodating the programs within their operational structures. The efforts will be further enhanced by streamlining and aligning the individual departmental complaints and complement systems to the National Complaints and Complements Framework. The highlight of the Batupile program implementation for the 2014-2015 financial year will be the hosting of the second National Batupile Excellence Awards. The awards are aimed at recognizing and rewarding hardworking public servants and to serve as an incentive for all public servants to strive for excellence and innovation in the execution of their duties. Honorable members, to further step up implementation of the Batupile principles in the public sector, we need to transform the public service into an effective service delivery machine. In this regard, we have secured a negotiated social contract between citizens and the state and the public servants. The President appointed a commission led by former Chief Justice Sandy Lengo. We are humbled by the commitment shown by the state as an employer and the labor in the 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 wage agreement, which included the resolution that the employer will review the remuneration policy of the public service. Parties, that is labor and employer, have signed a service charter for the public service in August 2013. The charter introduces service standards in the public service with a call to public servants to meet and exceed them. The charter also seeks to improve service delivery programs, reinforce our commitment to service delivery improvement for the benefit of all citizens. Through this charter, we will ensure an effective, efficient, and responsive public service. The charter commits public servants to serve the public in an unbiased and impartial manner in order to create confidence in the public service, to respect and to protect every person's dignity and rights as contained in the Constitution, to act against fraud, corruption, nepotism, maladministration, and any other act which constitutes an offense or which is prejudicial to the public interest. The implementation of the charter will be monitored during this financial year. Honorable members, the implementation of our performance management and development systems for heads of departments and other SMS members is not as yet optimal. Challenges in this regard include the failure to enter into signed performance agreements on time and the lack of performance assessments and feedback. The focus during this medium-term strategic framework will be to finalize the revision of the policy on the performance management and development of HODs and SMS members, and to ensure its effective implementation. Improved human resource capacity in departments is critical for the effective implementation of the matters identified above, as well as the broader professionalization of the public service. It is therefore essential that human resource professionals are not only equipped to enforce rules and implement administrative processes, but also to advise senior management and all aspects of strategic human resource management and development. A number of weaknesses in human resource functions within departments have been highlighted by the Department of Performance Monitoring and Evaluation Management Performance Assessment Tool reports. To address these weaknesses, the DPSA will be implementing a number of targeted support mechanisms to departments with particular focus on those that have achieved a low score in human resource standards. The other challenge is the absence of clear and formalized delegations within departments. This creates instability and makes it harder to establish clear lines of accountability. One of the things we need to do is work out proper delegations guidelines to empower junior managers to make appropriate decisions at lower levels. The National Development Plan highlights the importance of adopting a more long-term approach to developing the skills and professional ethos that underpin a development-oriented public service. This includes building the skills base for both now and the future, to contribute towards the employment creation and to ensure that public sector workplace becomes training spaces where entrants are adequately supported in order to develop their skills for employment within the public service or the private sector. To this end, the Department of Public Service and Administration would actively support the appointment of youth into learnerships, internships, and artisans programs within the public service over the next 5 years, whilst ensuring that these young people are absorbed within the permanent posts in the departments. The transformation of Palama to the National School of Government will enable us to achieve a goal of establishing a highly skilled public service. The strategic intent of the school is to ensure 100% coverage of education, learning and development across the spheres of government, focusing on diagnostic analysis to determine institutional support and intervention, and pre- and in-service learning and development. Honorable members, in implementing its constitutional mandate of performing its functions without fear, favor, or prejudice in the interest of the maintenance of effective and efficient public administration and a high standard of professional ethics in the public service, the Public Service Commission has been leading by example on clean governance and has received a trophy from the Auditor General of South Africa for its clean audit reports over the past years. The Public Service Commission has introduced the Public Service Barometer Dashboard, which is an indicator-based assessment of the state of the public service against the 9 values in Section 195 of the Constitution. The barometer provides the hard data on the state of the public service, which will be part of the evidence based of the Public Service Commission's diagnosis of the main underlying problems of the public service. This instrument has been useful to portfolio committees and provincial legislatures in holding departments accountable. In the area of leadership and management practices, the Commission will, during this financial year, institutionalize a revised internal grievance management process to fast-track the resolution of grievances referred to them by executive authorities or employees. In this process, departments will also be capacitated to investigate grievances through information sharing platforms such as workshops. In collaboration with the Financial Fiscal Commission, the Public Service Commission will commence with a multi-year project to review the impact of remuneration and organizational policy changes on the public sector wage bill and productivity in selected sectors. The Public Service Commissions will also continue to conduct inspections of service delivery sites as part of its monitoring and evaluation mandate. This will intensify reporting to concerns about the quality of government services received by citizens. In conclusion, I wish to thank the Select Committee on cooperative governance and traditional affairs, our Deputy Minister, Ms. Ayanda Dlodlo, our DG in the Public Service and Administration, and his team within the department, all directors, generals and chief executive officers present, and the chairperson of the Public Service Commission. I can assure you that we will continue to work with this Honorable House and yourselves as we move forward, strengthening the quality and effectiveness of the public service we offer to all the people of South Africa. As we prepare to celebrate the birthday of the late father, our former President Nelson Mandela, I am reminded of the ways of the Chief Executive Officer of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, that Mandela Day is not only about doing good, it is about service. On Friday, as we celebrate the life of Madiba, it is an ideal opportunity to build on his lifelong belief that we must free ourselves and live to serve others every day in whatever we do. This is what we expect from all the public servants. Honorable Deputy Chairperson, Presiding Officer, unfortunately you didn't advise me what I do if when I'm addressing there are some people dreaming aloud in the house.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. May I then call on the Chair of the Committee, Honorable Mohapi, to continue with the debate.
Honorable Deputy Chair of the National Council of Provinces, the Chair of the National Council of Provinces present here today, the Honorable Chief Whip of the National Council of Provinces, the House Chair of Committees and Oversight in absentia, the Minister of Public Service and Admin, Provincial Whips, members of the National Council of Provinces, members of the public and officials in the gathering. It is my honor and privilege as a public rep to participate in the policy debates in this House on the budget vote of the Department of Public Service and Admin during the 5th Democratic Parliament. I rise on behalf of the African National Congress in support of the budget for the Department of Public Service and Admin and the allocation to the departmental programs and entities, as well as predetermined priorities plan for the 2014-2015 financial year. Let me first take this opportunity, Honorable Chair, to convey on behalf of the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs our deepest condolences to the family of the late Comrade Nozipho Ntwanampe for the loss of the mother. Chairperson, coming back to the policy debate on the budget vote, as the ANC, we rally behind the newly appointed Minister and Deputy Minister of the Department of Public Service and Admin, and as the ANC collective, we have parliamentary confidence from oversight and accountability point of view that they will deliver in terms of the departmental, constitutional and legislative mandate, and also on the basis of 2030 vision as articulated in our National Development Plan. Honorable Chair, on its accession to power, the Government of National Unity inherited a society marked by deep social and economic inequalities, as well as by serious racial, political and social divisions. Guided by the principles of national reconciliation, which was championed by the former ANC President and the President of the country, Nelson Mandela, the new South African government, under the leadership of the ANC, adopted the Reconstruction and Development Program to reorient and to reunite our society towards a common purpose, that of a socially coherent and economically equitable society based on the principles of non-racialism. In forging ahead with the processes of reconciliation, reconstruction and development, The ANC government emphasized critical role of the South African public service as an executive arm of government responsible for transforming public service in South Africa. To effectively fulfill this role, the public service had to be transformed into a coherent, representative, competent and democratic instrument for implementing government policies and meeting the needs of all South Africans. Honorable Chair, the ANC government's commitment to this process has been demonstrated by the fact that it has identified institutional transformation and reform as one of the key medium and long-term programs to drive the implementation of democratic developmental state informed by popular, constitutional and legislative mandate. The ANC policy framework states that in order to deepen the national democratic revolution and also accelerate service delivery and development, we need a stronger developmental state and a more integrated cooperative governance system. The more we build a developmental state, is the more we create the conditions for a more integrated cooperative governance system as outlined in terms of Chapter 3 of the Constitution of South Africa. Honorable Chair, our present public service administration, as compared to the previously apartheid, racially and fragmented system, has a clear people's-driven mandate informed by our constitution and legislation. According to Chapter 10, Section 195, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, public admin must be governed by a democratic values and principles as outlined below. 1. A high standard of professional ethics must be promoted and maintained. 2. Efficient, economic and effective use of resources must be promoted. Public administration must be development orientated. Services must be provided impartially, fairly, equitably and without bias. People's needs must be responded to, and the public must be encouraged to participate in policy making. Public admin must be accountable. Transparency, Honorable Chair, must be fostered by providing the public with timely, accessible and accurate information. Good human resource management and career development practices to examine human potential must be cultivated. Public administration must be broadly representatives of the South African people with employment and personnel management practices based on ability, 2. Objectivity, fairness and the need to redress the imbalances of the past to achieve broad representation. Honorable Chair, also key in terms of the Public Service Act of 1994 as amended, the Minister for the Public Service and Administration is responsible for establishing the norms and standards relating to 1. The functions of the public service, organizational structures and establishment of departments and other organizational and governance arrangement in the public service, labor relations, conditions of service and other employment practices for employees, the health and wellness of employees, information management, e-government in the public service, integrity, ethics, conduct and anti-corruption, and transformation reform, innovation and other matters to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the public service and its service delivery to the public. Honorable Chair, the Minister of Public Service and Admin was allocated the responsibility of coordinating the implementation of Outcome 12, which has to do with an effective, efficient, development-oriented public service and a fair and inclusive citizenship. Lead the modernization of the public service through a generally applicable framework of norms and standards to improve service delivery. However, the National Development Plan, Honorable Chair, acknowledges challenges, especially with regard to unevenness in capacity. This unevenness is attributed to a complex set of factors, including tensions in political administrative interface, instability of the administrative leadership, skills deficit, insufficient attention to the role of the state in reproducing the skills it needs, the erosion of accountability and authority, poor organizational design and low staff morale. In order to effectively deal with the above stated unevenness, the Department of Public Service and Administration is expected, Chair, to implement and coordinate interventions aimed at achieving an efficient, effective and development-oriented public service, which is an essential element of a capable and developmental state, to strengthen skills, to enhance morale, to clarify lines of accountability, build an ethos of public service, build mechanisms and structures to support departments in developing their capacity and professional ethos while ensuring that departments fulfill their regulatory responsibility, which will enhance and improve service delivery. Honorable Chair, during the State of Nation address, the President of the Republic of South Africa shared with the nation measures that will be implemented to prevent public servants and public representatives from doing business with the state, as envisaged in the Public Management Bill. Further commitments were made to support improved implementation of the financial disclosure framework, strengthening protection of whistleblowers, and the provision of technical assistance to departments for effective management of discipline. Honorable Chair, on corruption. Corruption in public service is often perceived in liberal and conservative media houses and amongst opposition parties as a post-1994 phenomenon. Was also widespread in the apartheid era issue of corruption. Research by Institute for Security Studies under the report author Mr. Henny van Vieren, for your information, provides extensive evidence of apartheid grand corruption before 1994, concluding that, I quote, when apartheid state was at its most repressive, it also at its most corrupt. Therefore, South Africa cannot hope to tackle corruption without understanding the origin of corruption. At its 53rd National Conference, the ANC resolved on corruption that as the leaders of the society, ANC members in every sphere of activity need to be the champions of the anti-corruption campaigns. They should take tougher action against corruption, strengthen systems to detect and act against corruption, and also create, as ANC members, greater cooperation across the spheres of government in dealing with corruption. In terms of the ANC, this challenge, Honorable Chair, can be best addressed through a concerted effort by government in all spheres working together, integrating as far as possible their actions in the provision of sustainable services, alleviation of poverty, and the development of the people and the country. Showing its commitment to deal with these challenges, the ANC in its 2014 election manifesto states that it is committed to building a democratic developmental state, able to lead efforts to overcome triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality. The developmental state will play a strategic guiding role in the economy and decisively intervene in the interests of the people, particularly the working class and the poor. It is a responsibility of the state, in partnership with private sector, organized labor, and civil society, to create the conditions to accelerate economic growth and stimulate job creation. Honorable Chair, as part of ensuring executive accountability and conducting parliamentary oversight, the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs had a successful interactive briefing session on the 15th of July with the Department of Public Service and Admin, considering the Departmental Annual Performance Plan, Strat Plan of 2014-15 budget vote, and its allocation to departmental programs in line with its constitutional mandate. Chair, the departmental program in this instance included administration, human resource management, development, labor relations and remuneration management, public sector information and communication technology management.
Remember, you are running out of time.
In conclusion, Chair, allow me to convey our gratitude as a select committee that we are in support of the budget vote as presented by the Honorable Minister. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Moabi. May I call therefore on Honorable Julius to continue with the debate.
Which Julius is
the original Julius. Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chairperson, Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Minister, Honorable members, officials and all interested parties, public in the gallery. I think I'll stop the rhetoric for now. We just heard things that we already know. Chairperson, the National Development Plan envisages building a skilled and professional public service to strengthen delegation for accountability and oversight. Public service and administration is at the heart of government and what it envisages to do. However, corruption, wasteful expenditure, and poor administration are eating away at the very heart of our public service. South Africa loses between 25 and 30 billion rand per year to corruption and other malpractices. This is directly denying much needy services to especially the poorest of poor people in our country. Preventing public servants from doing business with government is one step in the right direction. Chairperson, when this Act comes to life, which is much welcome, an interesting issue needs our attention now. An issue created by the rot of corruption itself. Just think, how many of our public servants are currently doing business with government, legally so? How many of these public servants are senior managers in public service? Will these senior managers now opt to continue doing business with government, or will they stay in government employ and leave their businesses? Just a thought to the minister there. We should further stop tender corruption, which is rife, by allowing the public to attend meetings where decisions on tenders are taken. Why are we not doing this? If we want to win the trust of the public, we need to be transparent in all that we do. We need to be transparent in all that we do. Strategic Goal 2 of the Department of Public Service and Administration, Chairperson, seeks to promote a corrupt-free public administration through the implementation of practical interventions to prevent, detect, and combat corruption. A starting point to this should surely be a willingness to include our people when governing them and their money. It's their money that we are governing. Include them. Allow citizens to attend these procurement meetings where decisions on awarding tenders are taken. The crucial role of the Public Service Commission, Chair, the Public Service Commission, in championing norms and standards and strengthening monitoring recruitment processes should not be underscored in our quest to fight corruption and nepotism in public service. Chairperson, if we are serious about fighting the scourge of corruption, we need to actively and urgently work towards giving the PSC enforcement powers. As it currently stands, the PSC provides advice and recommendations to public service. These recommendations have been largely ignored in the past. The Public Servants Commission is thus a toothless institution as it stands. It can do nothing towards fighting corruption. Now, this presidential hotline that the previous speakers alerted to the minister and also the chairperson of the select committee, this hotline, you know that only 36% of the 14,149 cases of suspected corruption that were alerted by the public, citizens and other interest groups, only 36% of those have been closed by the end of last year. Is it working? I doubt it. 36%. Maybe you can go to education and say that that is a pass. You can go there. We are used to 30s now. Now, what is the use of asking our people to report alleged corruption if we do not do everything in our power to see that these perpetrators are brought to book to account for their actions? It is also shocking, to say the least, that just last week, ANC committee members of parliament refused the PSC enforcement powers, Minister. We have seen that this department itself cannot deal with these alleged corruption complaints on its own. There are structures such as the PSC. Why is it not allowed to solve problems in this public service? Is the ANC government really serious about fighting corruption in the public service? Or are they trying to cover and protect corrupt officials in the public service? Maybe friends, relatives, families, I don't know. The NDP begs of us to strengthen the role of the Public Service Commission. Instead, some opt to support their own NDP, the No Development Plan. The challenge to this government is simply to adhere to the National Development Plan. Chairperson, the PSC released its report on the 5th of November last year, 2013. This report indicated public service officials that committed and who were charged with financial misconduct were increasing at an alarming rate. The number of employees charged for misdemeanors in 2011-2012 financial year increased with 25% from the previous year. Shocking. What is the anti-corruption strategy to stop this scourge of this misconduct? Just last year, Edward Norton Sonnenberg, and yes, he may be white or yeah, but we listen. If we don't listen, we will stop the problem, Chairperson. Just last year, they reported on the state of public service in South Africa. It found that there appears to be no meaningful consequences to financial misconduct in the public service. Although 88% of officials that were charged were found guilty. Remember, 88% of those charged. I'm not talking about those that were not charged. These 88% of these small Inyana were found guilty. But the most common sanction for financial misconduct in these cases, a final written warning. A final written warning. How can the ANC government sanction a final written warning to a person guilty of financial misconduct? Billions are getting lost, and a written warning is all that these perpetrators get as punishment. These penalties must be much harsher as it directly impact on the services that our people so desperately need. I like it when people defend wrongdoings. Remember, you are working for the people. Don't defend yourself. Answer to the people. Chairperson, these corrupt officials should be banned from working in public office and even representing our people in government spheres, whether it's local, provincial, or national. Why are these officials not prosecuted criminally? That's your answer. In fact, those sanctioning the slap on the wrist with a final written warning should also be prosecuted under the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act 12 of 2004. They are just as guilty as these perpetrators. They don't want to take action. Why are these corrupt officials not blacklisted out of the government system? Now, instead of getting rid of these corrupt officials in the public service, they get promoted to higher office. Right here in Parliament, we have seen people being promoted, those that were alleged of fraudulent activities, to very high positions, even if they come with a cloud of alleged corruption from other government spheres. If you are convicted
just hold on,
or alleged to have been corrupt...
Hold on, Honorable Member. Is there a point of order, Honorable Nzimana?
It's not a point of order, Chair, to ask the member to move to the next topic of his speech.
No, that's not a point of order.
Yeah.
you may proceed, Honorable Member.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, what message are we sending to the people in our country? If you are convicted or alleged to have been corrupt, well done. You are now ready to take on bigger responsibility. Corruption is not that bad, maybe, as long as you subscribe to a certain politically connected view, and that's the truth. You can take that to the bank. The next chapter, Chairperson, the expenditure on consultants will increase in this budget by almost 3 million rand. This is despite the fact that, according to the Minister, we need to increase our capacity in the public service. We use consultants. The amount of almost 2.5 million could have been spent on providing direct services to our people. We are wasting money on consultants. We should rather ensure that money spent on capacity building actually develops our public servants to acquire specialized skills, specialized skills to make less use of consultants. Consultants are making millions out of your governments. This must stop, please. The provincial governments, people, we are in the NCOP, in case you lost it. Chairperson, what we need is a public service that delivers clean, efficient, cost-effective, transparent and responsive service to our people. The letter should envisage a public official that is competent, accountable, serve our people with integrity, are responsive to our people's needs, and most of all, showing care in all they do. This is a DA governance policy at its best. You can gladly adopt it. Chairperson, now, I don't know, the ANC is so very busy chasing lizards, sometimes camouflaged in red, while crocodiles are hunting you. Service delivery is coming for you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Order, members. Honourable Tumbi, can you continue the debate?
Thank you, Honourable Minister, Honourable Chairperson, Honourable Deputy Chairperson. Thank you very much. Public participation is a fundamental constitutional tenet of our democracy. It enhances democracy and promotes the credibility of South African legislative institutions. The Constitution of South Africa enjoins Parliament and the 9 provinces legislatures to facilitate public participation in decision-making and policy-making. Section 59 of the Constitution especially calls on the National Assembly to, amongst others, facilitate public involvement in the legislature and other processes of the assemblies and its committees, whilst Section 72 requires the same of the National Council of Provinces. Chairperson, umgaqo welilizwe womzantsi Afrika unika inxaxheba okokuba ebanzi ukuphimisela izimvo zabantu kwinkqubo yolawulo lwabo. Le imbilini kwanondoqo wenkqubo yentando yeninzi. Ngenxa yesi sizathu, Chairperson, uhlahlo lwabiwo-mali lalo nyaka luza kugxila ekubekeni bucala imithombo enokuphucula ukuqhogana kwabantu neenkokheli zabo kuzo zontathu izigaba zolawulo lalo rhulumente. Chairperson, South African public participation model has been loaded by a whole range of established and fledgling democracies across the globe.
However, concerns have been expressed in the domestic space about perceived weaknesses and constraints which characterize the current public participation model. The ANC's January 8th statement of 2014 underscores the significance of maintaining constant engagement with the people. In particular, the statement placed an obligation on all of us as public representatives to communicate at all material times with people. In implementing the priorities which have been provided for in this budget, the ANC, for its part, will take its share from the 2014 January 8 statements. We will engage through uniform content-driven messaging with the community to strengthen accountability. Throughout the course of the 5th Parliament, starting with this particular budget vote, we will seek to promote programs which will ensure that we'll share implementation plans of the budget commitments across the three spheres of government, as well as account for our failures where these are experienced. In all of this, we are guided by the ANC. Well, it says, we'll call on all our ANC members of parliament, legislatures and councillors to report back to the communities on the achievements of our government so as to promote interactive government. As we are continue to celebrate 20 years of our democracy, for which so many people laid their lives, we must begin to think of ways to deepen our democracy by, among others, identifying attitudes and behaviors which continued potential threats to our hard-fought for democracy. One aspect of this which we must confront potentially and constructive is the violent nature of expression of disgruntlement in what is called service delivery protests amongst those sections of our society. We cannot countenance a situation where infrastructure and facilities which cost millions of rands to put in place are either deliberately gutted down by fire or destroyed in some other ways, often with fatal consequences of the children who tend to be highly visible in these protests. We encourage parents to continue to take responsibility for their children so that their adventurous nature and their lack of discretion are not used by irresponsible elders to promote violent behavior. We must all avoid situations where our children fall foul with the law at all, particularly during their juvenile year. Chairperson.
Just hold on, is that a point of order, Honorable Mutu? No, honorable members. No, honorable members, he has got the right to translation. It is a language that he prefers, which the Constitution recognizes. So don't shout him down. Can we check whether if Afrikaans is translated, please? No, his time is protected. Is it okay now? All right. You may continue, Honorable Kumbi.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, Isizathu sokuba ndithethe ngabantwana abatshisa batshabalalise i-buildings, izakhiwo nazo zonke izinto esinebhongo ngazo ezenziwe ngulo rhulumente ukusukela okuwaqala ngo-1994 besetyenziswa phofu ngongantweni abantu abafuna ujikela lo rhulumente. Aba bantu futhi abathathi inxaxheba abakonsulti abangeni
Motlotleegi monna Silo, Setswana ga se yo ka fa ga ke utlwe sepe.
Did you get it? No, honorable members, just be sensitive to that. Just be sensitive to that, please. Can we have Tswana translation also, things? And maybe let me just make the point that this is quite unacceptable. It is unacceptable that members should be struggling with translation on languages that they prefer. Can that be fixed, please? So that we don't have this kind of a problem. Honorable Tumbi.
Ndiyabulela sihlalo. Kukho ke abantu sihlalo abahambe bengena abanye abayazi lento sithetha ngayo yokokuba xa kuzokwenziwa into kuqale kuyodityanwa nabantu. Le public participation sihlalo yinto eyavezwa ngu-ANC okokuthi abantu akungoku akayiqala ngu-ANC ngo-1994 wayiqala kwakwi-Freedom Charter wabiza abantu bonke beliliswe efuna ukuqonda into yokuba ulawulo lolu lizwe luthanda balube njani na. Siyazi ke sihlalo kukho abantu abakopa izinto, aba bantu ke bakopa into abangazaziyo. Ithi i-Freedom Charter people shall govern. Ayifani ke naba bavuke kusasa babone sebesithi banemibutho okwezicawe zikhona kuthiwa ngovuka engceni bengakhange baqinisekisa ubudlelwana okokuba abantu bayayifuna nalento. Yiyo le nto ndithi i-public participation sihlalo yiyona nto ibalulekileyo. Siyibonile loo nto kumbutho owaziwayo ongakhange waya nakumalungu awo wathatha ixhegwazana apha elukufutshane elimnyama okokuba malilidishe umbutho. Loo nto yapatyalaka kuba engazange yasiwa ebantwini. I-public participation sihlalo njengoba nditshilo.
Just is it Afrikaans again?
Ek sal vra dat die geëerbare weer terug aan my woord die Xhosa ek verstaan my kom in Afrikaans vertaling uit toe.
Now you see. Now you see, honorable member, you have exposed yourself. Because the extent to which you pronounce it, it's exactly how you understand it. As a Oma.
Sihlalo yiyo loo nto ndithe xa bendithetha ndathi abazali mababajonge abantwana babo kuba kusetyenziswa bona. Nangoku sinengxaki kweli lizwe labantwana abeze ngamandla bengenantlonipho. Sibabona begijima bezitratweni, abanye bathi bazi-chief, abanye bathi bazi-chief of staff. Ngabantwana abo abasanlincefuna into yokokuba abazali babaxelele into yokokuba kusukwaphi no-ANC. U-ANC zange kuvukwe ekhona, kwayiwe ezitaweni, kwayiwe ezinkosini, kwayiwe ebahlalini, kwavunyelwana kweli lizwe okokuba makwakhiwe umbutho. That is public participation eyenziwe ngabantu beli lizwe. Sihlalo.
Just hold on, what is the point of order?
Honourable Deputy Chair, I'm a little confused, and I would ask that you exercise your authority to call the Honourable Speaker to attention, in that I think he's lost the plot in terms of what is the topic.
What is the point of order? Honourable members,
what is the...
Honourable members, may I preside over this? What is the point of order?
Point of order is that he has lost the topic. The topic on discussion is public service, making a political speech.
No, Honourable member,
please
Honourable member.
I don't understand.
If my memory serves me very well, the Honourable member emphasized the issue of public participation within the context of the public service. That's how I understand the flow of his debate. So therefore, I would not sustain that order. Honourable Kimbi.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, abantu abangazange bangena kulo mcimbi participation.
Honourable members, what is it, Honourable Mutu?
ANC veld toch. Dat voel dat ik is vandaag naar ANC veld toch, dat gepreek van ANC. Kom ons best net op die punt wat ons moet praten van public service alsjeblieft.
Honourable member, you're out of order now, and I'm no longer going to take any point of order. And may I just indicate that do not use that privilege to deliberately, particularly, disrupt another member. May we not do that.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Deputy Chair. Honourable Julius was talking about corruption. Yeah. I don't know whether he's talking about professional corrupt people. Chairperson, if I can share you this. Ndigenda sebenza Masipala we City of Cape Town. Unjalo nje bendikwe executive. Lento kuthiwa i-corruption ndiyibonile pha. Ingxaki abakho kwi-public participation. And ndabaxelela ke mna ke uMadam okokuba I'm not a rented ducky. Ungambuza ndatsho kuye and soze ndiphinde ndibe ngu-garden boy.
Honourable Kimbi, your time is up.
Oh, my God.
Thank you very much.
I support this bill, Chairperson.
Can we then call on Honourable Mtileni to continue the debate? Do you have a point to raise, Honourable Chap? What point is that? This is the point of order. On what? Thank you. On what is it based on? Is it on the previous speaker?
No. If I understand correctly, the previous speaker called the Premier of the Western Cape the Madam. I was just wondering whether it's parliamentary for him to use that.
The unfortunate part of it is that he had exhausted his time. So.
It was before his time was up.
No. Do you want to make a ruling? Do you want to make a ruling on a matter? No, I've not made a ruling. That's what I want to know. Do you want to make a ruling on the matter? Because there's a point of order or an issue.
Chairperson, you were supposed to make a ruling while he was on the...
No, his time was up. How do I make a ruling on a matter when the speaker's time is up? How do I do that? Honourable members, you see the problem, I think now we are getting really out of order as members. Because we want to behave in a manner that we want to tell the presiding officer how to preside. Because if the time of a member is up, it is for me to say the member's time is up. Now, how do you rise on a point of order on something that on a matter that a member had said for whom that member's time was up? There are procedures. That is why I said yesterday The rules provide for you. If you are aggrieved about something, which you did not find a satisfactory response, the rules provide for you on what to do in addressing that point of dissatisfaction that you have. You don't have to stand up and want to demonstrate to me how rude you can be. You don't have to do that. And I'm saying, I'm raising this thing again on the basis that we take it that we are still moving slowly. But there will come a time where these things will not be tolerated. There will come a time. But nevertheless, let me allow the member to continue with the debate. Can you continue?
Honorable Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Minister Tatana Chavani, Honorable members and guests, I greet you all. Abusheni. Nah. I am humbled to take part in this debate, looking on the public service and administration. As the EFF, we take part in this debate, carrying forward the EFF's message that the 20 years of political freedom have not borne much significance to the people of South Africa. The conditions of the people are generally deplorable and show no evidence of a liberated people. Most of the people of South Africa have to engage in mass action or service delivery protests to receive attention from government. Most of our people have to face the cold face of wrath and ignorance of arrogant officials. When you visit most government departments, you will be lucky to come out serviced once and satisfied. You will be able to be told, come back another day, because so and so is not in, because someone has not signed or dispatched your applications. As EFF, we do not see inspired public service. We do not see ethics in service delivery. We do not see renewed sense of mission in the public service. I will premise my debate on 3 goals that the Department of Public Service and Administration should be championing. In the strategic plan, the department talks about goal number 1, an efficient and effective public service. Goal number 2, capable and professional public service and administration. And goal number 4, an ethical and clean public service administration. Honorable Deputy Chair, those are very critical and good goals, but in reality, they seem to exist on paper and to some few dedicated officials. But the experiences and everyday realities of our masses are a sore tale. The Batupili principles are just world boards of compliance in hospitals and other points of service. You wonder how many government officials understand the Public Service Charter. I challenge the department, in particular Honorable Minister Chavani, to do an impromptu assessment on how officials understand, or let alone having seen the Public Service Charter. As EFF, we feel that our people must be empowered to report and to complain. They have a right to be served impartially. They deserve timely service. They deserve respect. In other words of former Minister of Public Service and Administration, Honorable Sisulu, she made an admission here in Parliament on the 13th of September 2013 that our people are only asking for the public servant to be on time and work daily to resolve our problems. But it seems somehow the officials are becoming the weakest link in this agreement. In many instances, you don't see compliance to the regulations of the department. You will be lucky if your call cannot be transferred and be transferred and be transferred again until endless or until you run out of airtime on a matter of simple inquiry. Can the department make sure that there are strong measures to enforce compliance? This must be followed by real and site-based monitoring, not just checklist monitoring papers, which officials fill in at a quarterly basis and send back to the department. The process of accounting has become like a school exercise of filling in the spaces provided. We know what is normally done in schools. And then submit. Whether what has been filled is true reflection, no one cares about our people because they continue to suffer. The second goal is capable and proficient public service and administration. The ruling party is saying that they want things differently done, like Trevor Manuel said. Without a professional civil service, we do not stand a chance of transforming South Africa. He commented on the following about the truism of becoming part of the public service as a calling and responsibility. Political administrative interface of South African public service. And he admits that there is lack of proper implementation plans and challenges, failures, and manipulation of supply chain. The above three matters are critical in the professionalism of the public service. Public service has become the simply entry space of just earning a salary without rewarding government with commitment. The deployment of political affiliated comrades who feel that they cannot be punished for killing our people is a challenge that the ruling party
Honorable member, your time is up. Thank you very much, Honorable Kaula.
Honorable Chairperson, Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Minister, the Constitution charges the Department of Public Service with the promotion and maintenance of high standards, professional ethics, providing efficient, economic, and effective use of resources. That services must be provided impartially, fairly, equitably, and without bias. Also, issues of accountability, transparency, timely, accurate provision of services. In most of these, Honorable Mohapi, the public service of our country is found wanting. The expectation of our communities, in line with the principles of the Constitution, is that the public service should be impartial, transparent, accountable, efficient, effective, non-political, non-partisan, diversified, and amenable to change and transformation. South Africans expect that our public service should be committed to the pursuit of good governance. The public service is there to serve individual members of the public with care, empathy, and courtesy. This service ethic must be strongly instilled in all public servants at all levels. Honorable Minister, you will have a mammoth task ahead of you in this regard. The aim of the Department of Performance Monitoring and Evaluation is to improve government service delivery through performance monitoring and evaluation. One must appreciate that at least now, all government ministers and deputy ministers are required to sign performance agreements with the President. We hope that there is going to be proper monitoring and evaluation of the executive. We also hope that the outcomes of the evaluations will be acted upon without fear or favor. The signing of the performance contracts by the executive must not end with the cabinet at national and provincial levels. This must filter down to local government and all other arms of government and authorities which get a salary from government in order to serve the people. When the communities begin to feel that they are not getting proper service from government and that the promises and the expectations are not being met, public protests become the order of the day, as we have experienced in the past. Perceptions prevail that corruption is rife in our public service. The problem is that government departments do not always deal with reported cases effectively.
Honorable Member, you know, I said I'm going to do a very painful thing. Honorable Pakis, May you return to where you come from. Thank you very much, and proceed to your seat. Thank you very much. Now I'm just want to start. No, thank you very much, Honorable Pakis, for that cooperation. And I hope by so doing, I'm just trying to say to other members, and you know, I could have done it before. I wish to do it to a member of the ruling party. And I was wishing to find a member of the ruling party. Because I didn't want to be accused tomorrow of having been biased and so forth. So thank you very much for your cooperation, Honorable Pakis. Let's not do that again, members. Thank you very much. You may proceed, Honorable Member.
Deputy Chairperson, the government also needs to strongly address the issue of weaknesses in the procurement system. Billions of rands are wasted because of shortfalls in the implementation of proper procedures. The last report of the former Auditor General, Mr. Terence Nombembe, before he left office, bears testimony to this anomaly. The issue of contracts awarded on merit must be the driving force in our public service, Honorable Minister. The issue of employment and promotions based on merit and capacity must be the driving force behind our administration in the public service, Honorable Minister. Government must not leave it until too late to deal with the issue of wage negotiations with unions in the sector. This practice has hampered the smooth operation of our public service in the past. Honorable Minister, lastly, what I want to touch on is the issue of collaboration of public service and administration with COGTA to regulate and streamline salaries of our Section 57 employees at municipal level. Some of these municipal employees earn more than the president of the country, and this has got to be attended to. Thank you.
Honorable Member, Honorable Manopole, you may proceed with the debate.
Let me greet the House, greet the Honorable Minister, Honorable Members who are greeted, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to participate in this debate of the vote of Department of Public Administration in this August House. I would like to thank the organization for giving me this opportunity to do that. Let me open my debate by quoting one of the great visionary leader, O.R. Tambo, when he closed the first National Consultative Forum in 1991, the first in the country after the ANC was unbanned. Open quote, "We are as capable of running a country as nobody else. A man who can bring this meeting to take place can run a government effectively and efficiently," close quote. The Department of Public Administration Service plays an integral part in the state machinery, which is a critical in the success of the ANC-led government. ANC-led government is indeed people's state. This derives from the principle of the people-centered, people-driven principle. The nature and the character of the consultative and inclusive process, people-driven by the ANC. Even during the difficult time of the struggle, ANC realized an imperative for the clear statement of the future of South Africa. The ideal freedom charter was born. Let me repeat it again, because it was said by the ANC, and then it keep on being raised as if you are claiming, you cannot claim it an easy victory, but it is our day. ANC Freedom Charter was born ANC convened the Congress of the People, initiated the campaigns of the Freedom Charter. I would like to set the record straight in few issues that was raised by the latter speakers. Honorable Julius, the DA one, he raised the general statement with the issue of corruption. ANC has a DA likes to make statements of inane statement of nature, which in this house, which are forever rhetoric, especially when they have nothing to say with regards to the debate. They take it as an easy way route out. The ANC government promoted and still promoting good governance, transformation, accountability. There's the reason why they came up with the legislation of Public Service Commission. It was the initiation of the ANC-led government. Let me just remind Honorable Julius, because of it seems that he's not sure of the legislation mandate of the Public Service Commission, amongst the others, is to investigate, monitor, evaluate the organization and administrative of the public service. That is a legislative mandate. What you have raised those does not say you have nothing to speak to what we have said earlier on. The DA must be and should be worried about the PEM legislation, because that's the reason why forever they're asking and seeking clarity with regards to the stats of saying that the minister must anticipate or also to be a sangoma, saying that should the Administrative Management Act to be in place, number of officials will go and exceed the public service. The minister cannot be a sangoma, be able to say that how many of them can be dead. The implementation of that is like you are contemplating. I believe that maybe Honorable Julius and his friends, some of them who are in public service administration, are contemplating to exit because of this Public Administration Management Act is going to expose that. There's a reason why having a fear to find out, want to seek to know how many of the public service are doing business with government. Let me say that the very same DA here in the Western Cape, in the Solomon municipality, was investigated by...
Just hold on, remember. There's a point of order.
Honourable Speaker, the Chair, may I ask the Speaker if she would like receive a question?
No, I don't have that. You can email it to me. I have an email address. It's
Honourable member, are you prepared to take a question?
Thank you, Chair. No, at this moment I will not be able to do it. Thank you.
Fine. The honourable member is not prepared to take the question. Don't engage with the member who wants for you to take the question. Thank you very much. Proceed.
My apologies, Chair. It's noted. Here, let me say that here in the Western Cape, Solomon municipality, there was an investigation by SIU, and the findings showed that the mayor did business with the municipality without declaring. I'm just making an example of saying that what I've said earlier on, what Honourable Julius have raised with the issue of saying his fears of exiting the public sector by ensuring that when there is a Public Management Act, management has been placed that will be able to move out of this government.
Honourable Khai, can you please just go back to where you come from? There's no other way now. You are entering now. No. Did you bow to the poor rod? Honourable Khai, can you just go back again? Get out and re-enter. You may enter now. Thank you very much. You may proceed to your seat. Thank you very much. Proceed, Honorable Member.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I like your induction. This one is very practical. There's no way that they can miss it. Next time, we'll know that what we're supposed to do. With regards to the NDP, it resulted as an ANC resolution. So the ANC conference took South Africa on board and consulted broadly, came up with that diagnostic test report and saying that here is we want to move South Africa forward. Here is our vision. We do have a plan, which is 2030 plan. So it can't be that here Mabina Huchula Aling DA Baatla mo babatla hore ke di lakhak banomoro bare NDPA ba tsamaya le yone mara tse ding ga ba tsamaya le tsone ke eng tsone dio tse ke di lakhaka. The fight against corruption by the ANC-led government, there are programs in place and ensuring that those mandates are executed. The anti-corruption team was set by SAPS that the National Treasury engaged in the anti-corruption program in Limpopo province. 302 cases investigated in Limpopo and resulted that action was taken and the section 101B was in the investigation, the intervention by the cabinet was incepted. So, Honorable Matikele of EFF, he comes with a general dissatisfaction statement saying that the people are unhappy in the department. He does not have a specific. The department can go, how can the department be able to address if they don't have the specific reports and complain? So you cannot come in this house and mislead the house with a general statement. The ANC-led government appreciated and ensured that put in place the chief procurement officer in the National Treasury, leading that the new unit to oversee procurement in the three spheres of the government. These three spheres of government. The ANC-led government. This is part of our manifesto and is still ongoing program of us to deal with the corruption. Let me just take back and say that this I wanted to highlight against the backdrop that what I've mentioned earlier on with regards to the people government, which realized during the course of the struggle, the preparation of assuming the state power and is still continuing to consult the public broadly. With what regards I've said earlier on with the NDP, ANC is a consultative, people-driven organization. To mention but a few, which is the broader of the NDP, the ANC prepared to usher the democracy and the principle of ensuring that the legislations are put in place. The public service must base the principle of representativity, competency, accountability, the principle that plays integral part of the public service administration, and ensure that we rally South Africans and the public servants to the mutual respect of the dignity. So with regards to the dignity, one of the issues which was key and the principle of the ANC when they ushered the democracy, they ensured that they implemented and legislate Batupile principle. It was derived to ensure that we restore the dignity of South African, because of previously the public servants was not even recognizing the dignity of the South African. With that saying that, to deal with addressing the restoration of the dignity of the people of the South Africa, the national democratic revolution seeks to strive and realize the dignified and the dignity, improving the quality of life and the departmental, constitutional, and the legislative mandate. The speakers of the NDR achieved to outcome of orientative goals, resulted in the introduction of revitalization of the Batupile principle. So no one will come to say to us, the ANC, when we are saying that we have deserted our people. We are humble by in South African restoring and saying, giving us the mandate for the 5th Parliament that take South Africa forward. As I'm standing here, ANC was saying, with the budget that will be there, we believe that will take minister and ensure that it takes South Africa forward by the public service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. May I therefore call on the Honourable Minister to conclude the debate? Yes.
There can be a moment of silent prayer and meditation.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And to welcome and thank the members for the contributions they have made in the debate. There are quite a number of suggestions which have come through from all the members of all the parties, which I think are important to take into account as we proceed doing our work. And hopefully as we continue to engage, we would have incorporated some of the suggestions and the proposals which have been made by members. I just want to comment on 2 aspects, probably, let me limit them to 2. And unfortunately, both of them have been raised by Honorable Member Julius. The other one is on the tender, allowing the public to attend the bid committees. It's a very innovative suggestion. We have got the Institute for Innovation there, so I think they'll be interested in understanding how you want to do it. But let me start by phrasing it like this. In order to fight hunger, one of the things you do is to try the simplest way to get food to the people. I hope this suggestion is not like the one to say, because there are a lot of swimming pools, let's make them fish ponds so that we can have food nearby. But hopefully, if you can strengthen that proposal, because you see, it looks an innovation, but the legal complications of it might make it impossible to operate. So just look at it, propose it in writing, take some legal counsel on it, so that at least when it comes, it doesn't seem to be something. If you bring it to us, we'll look at it seriously, because we want to look at every opportunity we can to deal with the problems which we have. The other one is this notion that you have to do away with consultants. Let me start by saying, if South Africa can achieve that, probably will be one of the countries in the planet which would have achieved something. It is undesirable, it's unworkable, it's wrong. And let me tell you why. No, let me tell you why. If you can stop dreaming when I'm speaking, you will understand. You see, consulting is what they call a service industry. There are nations whose economy is basically based on consulting. Right? It's a service economy. Consulting, you use it in instances where you want a service for which you don't want to keep permanent personnel. Permanent expertise, because it's a once-off project which you want to execute. So you can't hire people permanently for one project. Secondly, there are instances where you have got long-term projects to run, which you don't want to divert your personnel who are doing particular duties in your institution to be concentrating on them. The problem which arises is as to whether at all times where to use consultants, have we done enough assessment as to whether that the work they're doing can be done internally. The fact that we'll do away with consultants is it's a pipe dream, it will never happen, it's not good for the economy, we should not even entertain it. What is to manage? How do we manage consultants as we use them? If you want us to debate it further, we can, but I can tell you we'll come back to the same conclusion. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I appreciate the support of the House.
Thank you for
No, thank you very much, honorable members. Just one last observation. One last observation. I'll keep on making observations for so long as I'll be presiding. I'll keep on making these observations until we are right, until we get it right. Member, I think it's Matubas. He's not here. You see, we are aware that there's a debate as to whether do we have a dress code for Parliament or not, and how people should dress and all that. But honestly, man, now take is now. Take is now, honorable members. So, I mean, your response is an indication that that is unacceptable. Your techies are saying to me that this is unacceptable. Because I observed a pair of jeans and techies, you know. That was my main worry also. Because the minute it then comes to a point where the techies now gives that audio, and you know that audio of the text when it gets out there, it can discomfort other members now. So please, man, whoever is an honorable member that is very close to Honorable Matebes, may you please bring it to our attention that collectively, we agree that there's no whatever dress code. We are not bringing up a debate. We are just saying, how do we collectively improve the decorum of the House? So it's one observation I've made, but thank you very much for those who have cooperated. Honorable members, that concludes the debate and the House is adjourned.